Hey guys, so my presentation is on free open source software, or FOSS. The first thing I want to do is clarify that FOSS, which is again free open source software, is actually the same as FLOSS, which is free or Libre open source software. Some people prefer to use FLOSS to explain that free in this context is used to describe freedom and not free of charge. So what exactly is free open source software? It's software with source code that anyone can inspect, modify, and enhance. And just as a review, source code is the human readable code that programmers can manipulate to change how a piece of software works. It's available to the public. So once again, free means freedom. And users accept license terms when using open source software. Most of the terms say that you can do whatever you want to the source code, but some terms add the stipulation that if you do modify the source code and publish it, you have to also publish the original source code alongside the modified version so that people can compare and see what you changed. So now that we know what free open source software is, let's look at closed source software to compare. So for closed source, also known as proprietary software, has source code that only the creator can modify, and users must accept license terms stating that they cannot alter the software in ways that the creator has not permitted. And you most likely can't even get access to source code, only the executable, which is the binary code, and that would take tremendous skills to interpret what they're actually coding for. And if you want more information about proprietary software and the concerns associated with it, I recommend watching Richard Stallman's TED Talk. And I have a reference slide at the end of this presentation that has a link to that video. So some examples of closed source software are things that we're most likely familiar with. So Microsoft Windows, Adobe Photoshop, Skype, Safari, and the dreaded Internet Explorer. So some examples of FOSS include the GNU operating system, which was launched in 1983 by Richard Stallman, and this actually uses the Linux kernel, which is just the program in the system that allocates the machine's resources to other programs that you run, and it's an essential part of this operating system. There's also the Linux operating system. So the one we're currently using in class is Ubuntu, and it's been the most downloaded Linux operating system for the last 3 years. And this desktop includes a group of FOSS like graphics tools, multimedia programs, and programming tools. There's also Apache Web Server, and this was the first big success for enterprise level software. It's become the standard for web server software and has retained majority share since. And also some browsers like Google Chrome or Firefox. So here's my references. I've actually put a link to this presentation in the description box where you can access it later if you want to look through it again. Once again, I highly recommend watching Richard Stallman's TED Talk if you have a chance. And to finish this presentation, I thought I would leave you with this Internet Explorer meme.